I say you feel the highs, you feel the lows, you feel the beat all through your toes. Let's get small. Well, this is Big Pontiac, the Time Walker, and you know what? Tell him, cuz, what is it? And this is the Chocolate Mountain Show. I'd like to welcome each and every one of you to my patio to kick it with this one and only galactic patio that goes from Minnesota to the universe. Was able to come on today, right now, so I'm gonna kick it for a little minute. You know, like I've always said, I don't care if one person watch or two people, I will bring it regardless. Because whenever someone needs this and is drawn to what I'm rapping about, that's what it's about. That's exactly what it's about. It's only meant to reach the few. You know, like what they say, many ears can hear it, but only one ear might understand it. You know, so. Uh, oh, but gosh, let me see. I did bring my. Golly, I did bring my. Let me see what this activity is. I'll tell y'all about my pickleball prowess. And I got pickled today, but I play good. I always play good. I'm in shape. It's like really in shape. Pretty good shape. So 9,900 steps, and that's just from. Where is it gonna? Yeah, there we go. Somewhere did it just? Yeah, it says I don't know. I can see it on here. Ah, there it is. And that's 9,900 steps, 4.6 miles, 6 floors, which is surprising. Um, three and three, 3 hours and 13 minutes of exercise. So, yeah. So yeah, I played. My friend came back from the East Coast. His family, beautiful cat, retired lawyer, and he came back in. So I got to play right away with him, and I mean, which is never fair. Me and him playing together is never fair. And I think we ended up playing a couple games together. And I think is who pickled me? I got pickled today. I've known Marty and somebody, and I pickled Marty 4 or 5 times, but it's like once it starts going bad, it just no matter what, just the shots, you just don't make shots, and it's easy. You only play until 11, which it's a few serves really. If you get on a good roll, it could be 6-7-0. You could pickle somebody pretty easy. People start panicking. I mean, I don't, but it's just shots be off and stuff, and it's just play a million games. I must have played game wise. Man, probably 20 something at least. And it was cool because, like, it was like not great. So I kind of got it where I was just playing against Marty mostly. Um, and so that made it interesting. He was playing really well. I mean, people play well. And, and in the gym floor, it's funny though, but it's like one of the first plays of the game, a ball came really quick. And one thing I do that I know a lot of other people don't do, I'm still able to do short sprints. Because, being a receiver, I'm used to doing short sprints. So the ball will come, it'll come real, like closer to the kitchen and the net. And I still have the ability to do quick little bursts. And so it's like, I don't know. And playing against the same people, you kind of understand what everybody is trying to do for the most part. So, so yeah, it was interesting. PJ Allen, what's happening, man? Check this out, though.
I smoke 2 joints in the morning.
What?
I smoke 2 joints at night.
Okay.
I smoke 2 joints in the afternoon.
Oh, all the time.
It makes me feel all.
It makes me feel all right, PJ. You know what I'm saying? It makes me feel all right. And my wife said it looked like I lost some weight. And I've been 230. I'm telling you, I've been playing solid pickleball. I took maybe 3 weeks off in the last since January. So what we're 9, 10, 10, yeah, 11, 12. Yeah, we're 10. So I've been playing 10 months I took 3 weeks off in 10 months. And that's it. I've been playing consistently the whole time. And I played with my paddle. I meant to bring them up here. I played with my newer paddle. And I'll say from playing with the other one, a lot more control. My newer paddle has a lot more control. And yeah, Dr. Sinister, what's happening, man? Thank you for joining. And so I think that's one thing. It's like even though my other paddle is heavier, and if I get the new paddle, it'll definitely be heavier. I don't know if I want to get like the one I have. There's one in between. I have to see if it's as long as mine. That's what I need to check out. And so, um, because I don't know, those paddles, I don't like the lining of the paddle. And a lot of times that doesn't matter, but sometimes it does. It shortens the paddle. That's one thing I compare my paddles to put that line on the side of the paddle. They actually shorten the old design. They made the old design, you know, but it made it just like 3/8 or so smaller. You know, the whole circumference, you know, the whole circumference of the paddle. They made it smaller. Oh, thank you. Thank you. It got some, I don't know, some old dude I caught. I forget what his name was. Dude was running this short. Dude, he played the dude whole song. And I was like, this is kind of trippy. So I had to look up who he is. I don't know who he is. Yeah, so you know, I lost a little weight, which is cool. You know, and I do moderate my drinking alcohol, no doubt, no doubt. As you get older, um, you just have to moderate almost everything you do. You know, you have to really take minerals. You know, I was learning really that I wasn't getting like enough protein, and that's where eggs come from. You know, when they say you eat eggs and stuff, and that's why I think, you know, back in college, I told you I complained. I don't like eating steak in the morning. I hated that. It was like until they stopped me. Like the last 3 or 4 games of my college career at home, they stopped me from. No, maybe my whole last year, my whole junior year. I think they stopped me from finally eating breakfast and eating dinner with the team. Because that's what I used to do. I used to eat breakfast. I didn't want that heavy steak and potatoes. I hated eating that in the morning, first thing. And really, up to that point, I didn't even really like steak. And it was like, no, you know, I had no choice. You had to eat steak in the morning. And that's for like, you know, shit, 9, 10 weeks. 9, 10 weekends, I'm gonna get at least one steak out of these people. So I have to eat protein and stuff. And you know, and I did something to my back, but I wore my brace. So I know my chiropractor be like, no, don't wear the brace. But I'm like, man, hey Jamar, what's happening? I was like, no, sometimes my back like, because I saw somebody else wear one time, and I'm like, let me try that too. Because my back was really like, if you saw me play today, you wouldn't have realized how sore my back really was when I got up. Because I got up and just bent, and I was like, oh. But I was like, you know, and it's like I'm all braced up. I'm telling you, I got the elbow braces, I got the nerve, put it here for the nerve, tennis elbow. You tighten that down, then I put a sleeve over that. Same on this arm, and I got kind of patella braces, you know, but they're single braces. And then I put on my left knee, I put stabilizer with metal on the side, light metal on the side. Then I wear the compression pants. So my back was cool. And then this hot tub, oh my goodness, I must have stayed in that mug about a half hour, if not longer. I was like, ah, I still need to ice my legs and stuff. So, but it's cool, you know. Oh, I'm gonna make a little short. I want to sit down and hope I can talk to him one day. I'm gonna make a little short about this dude, and I don't know. No, I'm gonna look over the footage, and I might, but it's like I got to get in a better angle to really watch this dude play. It's a 90-year-old that plays. Now again, he like a lot of old people. Dink, he probably was well when he picked up the game. Again, the game has only been 60 years, so you know, depending on how old he was when he picked it up, because it was invented. What pickleball was invented in 1967. So I don't know how long he's been playing, but he's 90 years old now, so which makes him born around 1935, 34, 35, somewhere in there. But if you hit it back to him, you know, he'll hit it back to you, and he can kind of block. Can't really run up on any balls or anything, but he can move. He like if you know balls get hit past him, he got to go pick it up. He can walk his ass over there and pick the ball up and pop it over on the other side and keep playing. You know, and I admire that. I admire that. There's one woman I play with. She is you could tell when she was younger that she was really a very beautiful woman. I'm not sure how she is. how old she is, but what I admire about her is that she didn't put none of that stuff in her face. She ain't had no shots, no nothing. She just said, and she's active. She plays, she plays too. She played all summer when I played outdoors all summer. She played last winter. She's playing again. I saw her today, and I just admire her for that. You just don't, so many people want to be something that they're really not. It's uh, and I know in certain businesses, youth is supposed to have that immortality thing. And that's why, like, you watch the government people, and all of them are in the George Washington. All of them wear wigs. You look at all the government people. If you see hair starting way down here, they got some kind of hair piece connected, and all of them seem to do it. And they get brothers to do it. Craig Mack was wearing the sponge. We had Bernie, or what's his name, the big lip Steve Harvey. He wearing the sponge hair. Now Jimi Hendrix hair would look better than that, but Jimi Hendrix was wearing type of sponge hair when he was in Woodstock. His last probably year of his life. Oh, let me say thanks to Dude's Boutique. They keep me fresh in my beautiful minks and hats. And then we got a Aloha Monkey for the people here to get tattoos. And I gotta wear their shirt. I know I'm gonna just bring their shirt in one day and just show you the back of it. I wish they'd have put the front on the back, because the back is kind of sweet. So, and piercings, they do piercings too. So shout out to them and Surly. Surly Brewing Company. All these homegrown places. Well, I'm here for weekly picks. And I think, let's see. I think we might get the injury report for tomorrow. Let's see. Ooh. Yeah, that'll do it. I'll just picks. No, I don't want picks. I make my own picks. Okay. Injury. Whoops. Did it give it to me? No, injury. Oh, shoot. Week 7. Stop. Let's see here. If they'll give me the injury reports. All right, after all that. Of course. So, trying to see who plays tomorrow. Steelers play somebody. Key injuries, significant players. Oh, Garrett Wilson's still hurt. Fred Warner. Oh, okay, more. Anthony Richardson, he's back up. Tampa is without a wide receiver. Igbuka, I think is his name. David Najatu. Oh, yeah, he got hit that was a pretty nasty hit. He got hit. Will Levi's, Tennessee Titans. And Jonathan Taylor. Wait. Oh, and then they say Jake Matthews, Atlanta offensive tackle, and wide receiver Puka Nakua. Yeah, he got popped too. Okay, who did I miss in here? The Bengals. What's up, everyone? Jamar, I said, what's happening? Good steak in the AM. Okay, so that's who's hurt. And so nobody from the Steelers. So I'll keep this list up. So I got the Steelers, Eagles, Rams. I'm rolling with the Pats. Panthers, Browns. Browns. I have to re-look that one up. Bears, Chiefs. And I'm kind of stuck up on the Colts and Chargers. I still got to think about that one. Broncos, Packers, Cowboys. I still like the Cowboys. Falcons. I want to say the Lions play. Eagles play the Lions, don't they? Yeah, Eagles play. So I can't be right. Let's see. I'll do that on the phone. Kick this injury report out. So. Oh, you got Bengals. Okay, you got the Bengals. Anthony Richardson script. I know, because they it's almost like it's like kind of what Shamar's going through, you know. And like one of the players they did terrible was RG3. You know, I mean he had coaches that really didn't want him. I mean they really didn't. And they really wanted just a drop back passer. That's what they really wanted, and that's why dude in Atlanta. They used to be the quarterback here. That's who they wanted, but the owner wanted RG3. You know the name, and they got him. You know he hurt himself on purpose. You know they made him play in a playoff game where he was hurt, so he was going to be forced to be something he really wasn't, and that's why that injury he never really came back. And then he got popped in a preseason game, which really again, why are you popping quarterbacks so hard on the preseason game? Or maybe it was like maybe the first game of the week, which again he should have just folded up. Okay, so for the NFL week schedule, okay. Bengals, Eagles. Yeah, I got this. Seymour. Yeah, Bengals, Eagles. Okay, Rams, Jaguar, Eagles. Who the Lions play? I got the Patriots over the Titans, Panthers over the Jets. Ooh, I'm a switch on this one. I don't know. Dolphins and Browns. I don't know. Because the Dolphins, the Browns have a good defense. The Browns haven't been able to do a lot on offense, but the Browns do have a pretty solid defense. And I don't know. Well, let me think about that one too. But I don't know. Tua had a meeting with them, and both of them ain't really won nothing. Saints, Bears. What did I take? Did I take the Bears? Yeah, I got the Bears. Next one should be Raiders, Chiefs. I got the Raiders, Chiefs. This Colts, Cowboys, Chargers, Colts. That's a hard one. Because the Colts have really been playing well, and the Chargers been very inconsistent. Very inconsistent. So I've been rolling with the Colts all year. So I'll just go with the Colts. I've been rolling with them all year. I'll scribble out the Chargers. And Packers, Cardinals, Packers, Broncos to beat the Giants. And I got the Cowboys. I like the Cowboys. I think they're going to beat the Commanders. Commanders have not been consistent. Falcons, Cowboys. I think they're going to let the Falcons beat the 49ers. And then Lions, Buccaneers. This is why I questioned it. Lions at home. Do they stop him? Yeah, I'm going to stand on one. Lions, I'm going to stand on that one. I'm going to stand on the Lions at home. And then we got the Texans and the Seahawks at home. Yeah, the Seahawks, you know how that is playing up there. It's tough. And Donaldson's playing well. It does make the Vikings wonder, what they gave up. But I don't know. And I don't know. My son still wants me to see if I can get last minute tickets. He said Sunday the tickets might get cheaper. So we'll see. I don't know. I doubt I'm going to Let me see. And I don't think we've talked about Shador. What do you think is really going on with him? Um, Colts look good, and the Lions got to beat the Bucks. I think. I mean, it's a shaming. It's definitely a shaming, but I've said many times it's better to be shamed than be killed. And right now, they're not really killing his career. They're not playing him right now. But the NFL changes so quick. Look at how quick Flacco got up out of there. Now, and that's the other part. It's like, why would you trade for Flacco that's just a statue back there instead of getting Shador? I mean, see that's another thing. But again, it would have. And one good thing of him really not playing is he's not playing with good personnel on offense. I mean, he has some skilled people, but his line, again, all them other quarterbacks they've been struggling behind that line. So it's good not to take hits. I mean, it's really good not to take hits. I mean, you look at some of them. I mean, even dudes that came out to jump. It's quarterbacks that just came right out of it. Troy Aikman. I mean, remember they 13-1, 13. Yeah, I think they was 1-13 his rookie year. And all them hits he took, his rookie year. And so sometimes it's not bad avoiding that until they can get a couple things. And so you perfectly can shift your blocking, which he should know. But again, it's so much that you face with, you've got to protect yourself blocking too by, the center's going to tell you, center makes the call, and then if you have to change it, you have to change your blocking to get more help where you think that the press might come from. So it's not a it's not so much so it's not bad not for him to play at this point because of what's around him. And like he could have been thrown into that position over there too. But again, it's better for an old vet, to come in that can adapt to any system, because the systems. That's why the other night I was saying is the systems aren't different. The verbiage becomes different, but basically, the system is the same. The system is you putting people in the same positions. The blocking schemes and everything is the same. You understand? No matter what team you go to, you've somewhere in your past and on film. And that's, I emphasize that so much of people that study films and look at games, and look at the plays over and over again, so these players become students. And so you can fit in because you've pretty much been in this. You might have been in this in high school. Then all of a sudden you're seeing a style of that in pros. So, you see when he said he turned down the Ravens. Yeah, I saw that. Junkins and the Joy. What is it? Gonna beat the okay. Well, I mean, is that believable too, though? That would have been a better situation. And what would have been good for him, even though he's a pocket passer, he would have still been able to learn from that cat. And as much as Lamar moves around, I mean, that's the idea to sit and learn. So I think that was probably a mistake. Again, we don't know how true the story is. We really don't know how true the story is. So it's kind of maybe it might have been. So for not to take hits, I mean, your body goes through it, and it's better to. I say that he's in a situation where even if they let him go, and he can go to Canada. To get some playing time. I mean, he's going to go somewhere. They're not just going to keep him in pain. I mean, he'll have his time where he can get out of this, demand to trade, and that when you demand to trade, you're not playing. I mean, it's a little easier to say, I'm not happy. I don't want to play for y'all. I'm not doing this. You can find me. You can make them trade you. If it gets to that point, you can definitely make them trade you. We've seen it time and time again. Hell, Jimmy Butler hooped on him in some sweatpants, and some cheap tennis shoes. It was turning Cat and Wiggins out. calling them bitches and hoes as he turned them out. He wearing his Rolex while he hooping with them. Didn't take his watch off. And not only beat him with scrubs, well, not scrubs, but the other pros, but like talks shit to him while he's dominating them. So you can get out of a situation. So that's I think eventually he'll play somewhere. So there's a team that drafted him out of Canada. So and then they don't make a whole lot of money, but again he did well in college, and that's the thing is he's not struggling. You understand? And he's got other avenues of money coming in too, and his jersey numbers. So he's got streams of money coming in. So he's not like the starving dude that just. Because I watched him and his brother on an interview after the game. Because they showed him warming up. He said, "You thought you was going to get it at the end of the game." Yeah, he said, "That's why I started warming up." But he took it wholeheartedly. He was cool with it. So that's all. Oh, but how's I hope things have been well for everybody. It's pretty cool here. I mean, it's crazy certain parts of this area, for the most part. But they've been when the feds came in here under Biden, the feds have stayed here and they've been making a big difference. I heard a theory that Shador owns his name and a high percent of his jersey sales, and they can't make no money off him or something. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, yeah, you do get a chunk of that likeness now. You do get a chunk of that likeness. So, I mean, this is what they don't like about the younger dudes that's coming in with money. That's coming in with money. This is what, a bad precedent was set with Johnny Manziel. Because he was one of the first earliest ones that came in and with money and just wasn't studying, wasn't doing shit and doing his work. He's just fucking around. That was the way he was trained. But when it comes to adapting to, what's coming at you every week in the NFL, you've got to, it's a full-time job. It's really, even in the script. And if you look at a movie, so if you think of the NFL like a movie, this is a movie that lasts for 17, 18, 19, 21 weeks if you win it all? And I was just watching a vampire movie where they was practicing a play and shit. It was the director directed them. But that's what you have. You have that for 18, 20 some weeks. And the weeks, leading up to preseason. This is where your head has to be at, because to understand even a scripted thing, it's just like with wrestlers, you got to know the falls. So you know how to brace yourself. And even boxers, boxers know sometime I got to lower my guard and, take one. Or hit and hold, and the refs is going to bail me out, which I've watched a lot of those. ESPN too. I watched a lot of those, where, one dude kind of dominates, but they give it to the other cat, so we do see that. And like, I look like I'm not gonna compare or say anybody, but it's like I don't understand how people aren't for what's going on in college football. That's something I don't understand. Yeah, it's a whole set, and I was gonna say, it's the same with college football. All of it now, and even we can even even speckle in, some of these television high school games. It makes you wonder, because anything out there you can bet on. Anything out there you can pretty much bet on. The Little League World Series, they was trying to get on the parents and shit, not betting on the team, betting on the games. Everything is has some kind of money to it. But for me, like college, I love the way college is. That quarterback, that I've talked about him. That quarterback at UCLA is nice. Really nice. He's prepared, the way he moves in the pocket. I'm telling you, I've been watching. I watched Williams. What was the other young quarterback I watched this weekend? But even like he's more explosive than Hurts when he runs. This dude, I would say RG3-ish, fires like that quick sprint. Instead of just having to duck and dodge. Really being able to a quarterback can just hit a quick spurt, kind of like Michael Vick would do. Yeah, that quarterback from UCLA, he has that. He definitely has that. I watched him play against State. I watched that whole game against Michigan State, and that cat sees it. He sees it. I mean, he really does. And I mean, just the movement in the pocket, the walking away from pressure, just how to step out of pressure, stand there and look and hit a quick sprint. And that's what's cool. You got a dude, you got all this, and they can hit a quick sprint, to get the first down or something with everybody, they drop everybody, cover zero. There's just everybody going out. couple men rushing. But yeah, it's so college is the same way. And it's like, the coach getting 50 million to walk away. I mean, that's his value. And then they said there's all these stipulations. He got to look for TV. He's got to look for a job. And that's the think about it. From them not having to pay this bill, they got somebody that's a friend there to give him a job. They'll put that kind of fakeness to it all. So I'll never forget that I came out to shoot before warm-ups, and the ref told me, "Hey, I got y'all tonight." I thought in my mind, somebody betting. Yeah. I mean, I told you, I had a game where we played down at Ben Harbor, and they was the number 1 or number 2 ranked team in the state. And at the end of the game, I had hit a drive, and I pressed the ball. And the dude threw it in, and I took it. As soon as it left his hands, I grabbed it out the air, spun to the basket, went up, made the layup, and on the way down, the dude pushed me. On the way down. The refs went to the table, looked at all them black faces up in the crowd down in Benton Harbor, Michigan, and he had me shoot free throws, and I missed the free throws. We was only down 1, and with my layup, we had won. With my layup, we had won. But they took it away from me. So, refs will cheat. Refs real cheat, Like I wrote a little thing how a ref, like one ref would cheat, and so the other ref said he had to cheat, and then the other ref would go and he had to cheat because he cheated, and I got to do another cheat. The refs back and forth. You see who can cheat because the other dude cheated. So, but that does seem to. I said the high school game was last Friday. The team definitely it was some bullshit calls. It was definitely some bullshit calls. Yeah, it's a book. But yeah, that's really what was done to me. And my coach didn't really fight or nothing. He didn't really fight, And it was obvious. He pushed me after I made the basket. Obvious. So I don't know, but that's how it happened. The game was fun. I did have fun. I mean, there's disappointment, heartbreaks like that, but it was fun still. As y'all got y'all stories, I mean, it was fun. Like when I play pickleball, that's one thing I look at, win or lose, I still have fun. I'm out socializing with people that I've known for a while. I know some of the people outside of there, It's like we go to another park and hang out. They want to play cards. I don't play cribbage. I don't know what that shit is. I don't play. I don't really play. I'll play spades, but if I get to drinking and smoking, I won't pay attention. I've never, I won't pay attention. I really won't. It's like, yeah, I'm not just gonna concentrate on these motherfuckers playing this card. That's why I never really was much of a poker player. I like shooting craps. I've said that many times. Roulette was, real roulette table, real craps. I don't care if it's banked or you got to throw it over the ramp. That doesn't really matter. I mean, that's that feeling game. I enjoy that, but that's the only kind. So, but man, the weather, like I played indoors. I was considering playing outdoors, but I played indoors. I played indoors today because the weather was kind of funky. It rained all day yesterday, and then today it was just overcast with 52 degrees, so it's cold at night. My mother said she turned on her heat. We ain't turned on our heat. Not yet. Oh, here we go. Yeah, we ain't turned on our heat yet. So, and so what is the weather? Oh, let's see what it go. What do the stocks do today? It's my first time looking at it. So Bitcoin, wow. Bitcoin, in the start of summer, Bitcoin was around, I guess I can share this shit. Bitcoin was around 120,000. And it's dropped all the way down to 11. So it's dropped almost $10,000 right here. Yeah, and it's been dropping. Ford, my Ford is putting along. My little $5 is doubled. But gold, look at gold, still kicking ass. Look at silver, $52. That's not bad. To buy these bars is not bad, y'all. That is not bad. That's making afforded. And these are hedges, you know. Turn the heat on and turn the AC back on. This weather's bananas. Uh, don't don't turn the heat on and turn the AC back on. Yeah. Well, I mean, we had a couple September days that got in the 90s. We had a couple September days that was in the 90s. And so, hell, shoot. Um, we went to the game. It really started in the like 60 when we went to the game last Friday. This is the games, high school games are tonight. And I think if we're in the seventh week of the NFL, we're in the sixth or seventh week of high school. High school only plays 8, 9 games, I think. And so there's the games tonight because it's MEA up here. So probably around the country too. MEA. It's kind of, a minor vacation for them. So, Pfizer. Affordable stock. Oh, look at that, JP Morgan. Affordable, well, not so. Pepsi. Silver. Yeah, silver did well. Up 2.24%. So, do your thing, whatever you want to do. I can't tell you where to put your bread. But yeah, it's been like we had our we have a heated blanket and it feels good on my back. I think I gotta take another shower because even after taking a shower after the hot tub, that shit still be on you. You got to come home and scrub that shit off you. So I'm waiting to do that. I'm gonna take a shower because I haven't been. I've been home. I got home at 3. Let me see. I had to go get my daughter's medicine, and that took me a minute. So I think I didn't get home. I left home about 9:30, and I think I got back. I've been back only about a couple hours. I think I got back about 3. Yeah, about 3. I just noticed a couple of lower Division I teams are playing during this week. This is their way of getting the NIL money up. I mean, they play any night too. College, these smaller colleges or mid majors as they call them, they'll play any night. Don't forget that. It's games. It's generally college games on Fridays night too. So they've been getting them in. And you only got to win 6 games get you in the bowl. The way, and that's the cool thing about the bowl system. It's a mini playoff, and they'll never. I don't think they'll ever have like I don't know why every bowl couldn't be like a playoff. Do like the old Indiana system where you only had one champion. Like all the bowls should be playoff games. You should have a bunch of playoff games. You send in these bowls, and the bowl is the playoffs. They could set that up real easy. They do it in basketball. So it could be done in football as well. But I don't think they'll do that. They want to keep the same teams that have won for the last 100 years to keep winning. And you notice that. It's the same teams. Football, there hasn't been a new winner in football in forever. And I think, when was the last time... What was the last small college that has won it, or even mid-major that has won it? Because Baylor's not really a mid-major. Baylor's a major program. Now, Loyola Chicago, when they won it in 60, and Texas El Paso, when they won it, 61? Those was mid-majors, true mid-majors that won it. Now, again, not as many teams in the tournament and stuff. But for still for the amount of teams that were in the tournament. And then we don't get to, we don't get really, think about the NIT, the NIT teams too, because at one time, I mentioned before, the NIT was bigger than the NCAA. And it really wasn't until the Jabbar era that the NIT was less than the NCAA. That's how long it took. That's how long it took to the 70s. When Kareem, Bill Walton came, then all of a sudden the NIT wasn't as important. So, And in my lifetimes, that's been you know, football star David Bell retires after blindsided by off field. Okay, he did some bullshit. Wow, they be just be fucking with people in the world. That's why being famous ain't everything. It's good just being a regular person. You know, because even regular people, there's something special about us in our world. And there's less eyes on your world, and that's the beautiful thing about it is there's less eyes on you, and that's not a bad thing. And not really, there's a bad thing. Like Sly was talking about Dr. Umar, you got all these eyes on you, and the moves you make, all your moves is still is watched too. And so it's good, the teeter-totter is good for some. I don't like that teeter-totter where I'm up here, that I'm gonna be dragged down here and up here. I like to just be balanced, as my sons like to say, I like to be smooth, you know, just balanced. Not to be too up, not to be too down. Now my wife says when I debate that I overtalk people, but it's like I'm like, you're not really hearing me. I'm like, you're not really hearing me. So that's why I'm saying what I'm saying, because you talking, that's my mindset. It's like, listen to what I'm saying. And then look from my perspective. But my wife is good. My wife will like try to fact check and all that stuff. So she's like, well, really it wasn't. He said this to kind of, it was kind of like this, like the plastic things, showing what plastics does to people. The brother did the thing on plastic, and it shows. If it's doing it on them frogs, it definitely can do it to people. It can change your behavior. They can add things that can change your behavior that they have added unnaturally, and we don't even know they're adding. That's what a lot of the people are saying. But with the Chinese bud, is that they're adding stuff in the Chinese bud. They busted a big grow area in Maine. A lot of. And the way they make it is unregulated, and they still getting it in these tobacco shops. They're getting, this Chinese bud in these tobacco shops and these weed shops. So your wife the same way. So beware of that. Damn. Beware of that. But it's funny, now until definitely Christmas, we'll see more and more people sacrificed, because this is like, like really, if you look at how they sacrifice in this country, there's summer sacrifices, and then you see the fall, winter, you see the fall, winter sacrifices that they do too. That's why we start seeing, during the season, the sports season, even we see music awards, we see movie awards, but especially the sports season, they knock these people off to go with these dates, with the team names and the numbers. I mean, it is like so ridiculous, but yet it's done. I mean, the way they do this is all that they do. Don't think they don't kill these people. Don't think they don't pick these people up. Make these people, and then, setting their outcomes when you shine and bright, and then they let you down. And how do you adjust? And what they say, lost and turned out. And men can be turned out too, but lost and turned out. Lost and turned out is what can happen to people. And a lot of them think that giving up your spirit, your soul, your spirit, your energy is worth it. But like what? But and all like the part of that is that really is when they artificially inflate you. There's always a time limit. There's a time limit that you can be on top, but there's never a time limit the way you can be used. You can get your minute of fame, but they can always use you. Now, how long was Floyd? 2021, I think, was the court date. And they still had Jesse Jackson, who been had dementia, if not Alzheimer's. And they still rolling him around. They still are flying him place to place because they still think that he means something to melanated folks. Do you see? You see, this is a spell. He helps cast the spell. They have to have him there. You know, and that crew, Sharpton, it was the Crump. You know, we've got it, y'all. You know, the Boule answer, the Boule Band-Aid, the Boule Band-Aid. And so they only let you shine, but once you sell your energy, you know, they gonna conflate, you know, inflate and conflate you, lift you up and bring you down. That's how it is. I mean, that was part of him. He was trying to explain to you, you know, and that was really why they showed him get injured in the beginning. He had just won the championship, and then, you know, the next season he gets injured, and it might be, you know, the end of his career. And that's what that moment is showing you, is you can be at the higher highs, but then you can be at the lowest lows. Of course, getting hurt is definitely part of the lowest lows, because you got to go through some shit. I mean, look at Tatum. Tatum sitting out. Knew to look out for D'Angelo, actually, Angie Stone. I mean, Zach and them have, there's some shit right here. You know, and Zach and them have put all that together, looking at, you know, when she died, not that compared to him, but it was good foresight, you know, aftersight, I should say, that he looked at all that. I didn't hear him. I don't know. Maybe he said, look out. I don't know if he did what he said about Prince, because he did say about Prince, look out. When Vanity died, he said, if I was Prince, I would look out. And I don't know, maybe if Zach said that about D'Angelo with Angela Stone. I don't know. I haven't really got into him enough to know. And maybe he did. But I know I saw his header that it said something that there was some correlation. So I wonder if he said that before, you know, because he did say that about Prince after Vanity. But yeah, that was just one little thing I got, you know, the beginning of that movie, you know, when the dude was a little boy. I got that like right, you know, right then, just to say, okay, yeah, that's... You know, well, what do they say? When you're on the top, they tell you how great you are, a superstar, but do you have any money to lend standing on the top? What do you say? We came up. And then your friends say, hey, we done came up. We done came up. But sometimes it's like that. You know, it is good. It feels good. You know, I do like I've said before, I regret I couldn't lift my boys out of there, whatever they was in. You know, I do feel bad about that over the years. Like dudes that was really friends to me. I reflect. And, you know, it comes down to that was, you know, never what I pictured they both could be. You know, they didn't picture that for themselves, you know. And the thing we all had, they didn't, you know, they did not try to enhance. They just was like, and one of them was like, we was friends, but it was like, you know, once his mind was gone, you know, it was no turning back for him. You know, he had no way to turn to. You know, it was like once he took the step, you know, it was like that was it for him. So, you know, could I change that? Not really. You know, it's not really. Not in his environment. And then just sometimes it's meant for you to, you know, seek a new life. Yeah. Try something different. Meet new people. So that's been my life. You know, I wasn't scared at 18 to leave. You know, I wasn't scared. That's like they said 20,000 people went to A&T's homecoming. I think Jackson State had the biggest one at 44,000. But 20,000 people came to A&T. That's why, like, here, like at A&T, and I said this, I think, last time, when A&T, when homecoming hits, which they call Go Shoe, you see everybody giving sales. Because, again, 20,000 people is coming to one small area. These people's coming in. These people coming in to spend money. They're going to be at the restaurants. They're going to be at the hotels. They're going to be out just mingling, shopping. So this influx of this people has shown repeatedly that it's going to make money. it is a city moneymaker. So the city, Greensboro is a city of roughly about 400,000 people, which is roughly maybe St. Paul size. I think Minneapolis is slightly bigger. So, but together, it's a lot more because Minneapolis, St. Paul is kind of all together, twin cities. But so it's a decent sized city, but the whole city gets behind this. Now up here, was their homecoming was last weekend too. And I didn't even, should I say this? Yes, I'm gonna say this. My best friend, no, I'm not gonna say that part. But anyway, my best friend is a Gopher fan. And he didn't know it was homecoming. I'll say that. He didn't even remember it was homecoming. And he's a true Gopher fan. He was like, homecoming was this week? I'm like, yeah. Like they just, and I guess, there's a lot here. There is a lot here. You got the pro games, all three teams in season. The Twins just got done playing about 2-3 weeks ago. So, it's a lot competing, but it's just not the same. It's not the same. Mr. Marcus, what's happening? So, and I don't know who they bring in because like A&T, it's concerts every night, it's clubs. I mean, it's quite a. And then on campus, I mean, it's that 20,000 on campus is a lot. It's some European cat that travels, and he went to A&T, and he talked about he's went to several. He went to Howard's. I think he went to, the week before A&T's homecoming, he had went to South Carolina State. So somebody done put a little money behind him in his podcast. And so he got to go to A&T. And it's just funny. People, like I ain't saying the man is good, bad, neutral, but it's funny how quickly we will make somebody famous. All of a sudden you seeing people taking pictures with him, and he's just a regular podcast dude. But because he's there, he's singled out to people. Why? Why really? I mean, it's you got to think of A&T is engineering, nursing school, so you got heavies coming back with bread. You can look at the campus now. I mean, I went to the campus only 5,000. It's 15,000 there now. The campus is they tore down most of the campus I went to, other than the classrooms is all pretty much still there. I don't think they tore any of them down. But where I lived. The two buildings I lived in, them motherfuckers been tore down. So the campus is totally different. So it's people on his level. It's ex-pro football players walking around there. You see what I'm saying? And it's goofy, but that just shows you how open, and like he said something. He was saying, which is true. And one reason why I want my daughter one day to go to A&T for homecoming is because it is a time where everybody, it's a lot of love there. I must say, I went to my first homecoming in 1979. I haven't been back to one since. The last one I physically went to was 88. We flew down there and went to 88. But it is nothing but like really a weekend of love, family reunion, Yeah, family reunion. It is seriously that. I mean, it's like one thing, I can't really say I admire fraternities. But one thing I do like about them that it has most of a life for some. And again, all of them ain't, they're trying out for the boule, but all of them don't make it. So you can't say all of them is tied in, because not really. They don't take in everybody, but they see through this. But my point about them is it's really a good friendship. And they do things together, the fraternities do things that's positive. And they really, these cats have really been friends for 40-some years. And so I do admire that. I tease some of my teammates, they both wanted to be DC dudes. They started hanging around with the DC dudes. But what I will say is they are still friends with them dudes to this day. There's like, they looked at the DC dudes as like, the coolest dudes. And so they emulated them, and they still been in touch. And those are still their friends. I will say that. So, so it's not all negative, but you are trying out for the boule. There's no doubt about that. But as I said, everybody don't make it. It's like the good and the bad and the ugly. They look and they say who they think, and it is a type of initiations. that they go through. But what the fraternities and sororities do to see if you kind of down for whatever. Hey, Jaguar God, what's happening? Good to see you. So, and that's kind of, it opens up that kind of thing too. And then when you see the athletes in the fraternity, because most athletic teams in college is fraternities among themselves. And then to see him to do the double thing is kind of interesting. But again, that's what the bootleg wants. Will he do these things? Will he join the brotherhood? So you see, Jordan did, Shaq did, a bunch of other, I think, a bunch of other guys that went through it. But that only time I thought about it was we was trying to get out of spring practice. And one year I got sick and I couldn't spring practice, but I got out of it. And then came back and played in the spring game and caught 2 touchdowns in the game, like runs and touchdowns in the game. Practice one day, because that practice was roughly 1 week of running. No, it was more than that, but it was like I missed almost all the 2 weeks of practice. I practiced like one time and got sick, and like got the flu sick. And really, I felt fine, but they wrote and said I couldn't practice. And so I was like just kind of living with my girlfriend, going to class and living with her. And then I practiced one day, and then Saturday was the game, the blue gold game, and I caught 2 touchdowns, like 50, 60-yard touchdowns in the spring games. Easy work, really. But been hooping, all winter, been lifting, hooping. So even though I didn't have to practice them times, I wasn't out of shape. And that's one thing I do miss about being younger, I miss hooping more than anything. I mean, like, I like playing pickleball, but I miss hooping. I mean, I really do. I really wish I could still hoop. I would have hooped forever. If given the body, it would have been something my older children got exposed to a little more because they were alive when I was coaching. But my younger children, they were little. Like, when I was coaching JV my last year, the boys were 4 or 5, something like that. I know Keelan wasn't in school. Cameron was, if he was in school, he was in kindergarten. And what was cool about the gym is there was no way to get in. It was like once I shut the gym doors, the gym was isolated, and then I could shut the locker room doors so they couldn't run in the locker room unless they had to go to the bathroom. But then if they had to go to the bathroom, I could open the gym door and let them run down the hall and go to the bathroom. So, but I just, wouldn't have to worry about them. They wasn't going to kill themselves too much. We could play. A lot of times when I would take them, we were playing. And so I'd have open gym and have men come there against my team, And my son, he benefited from that. He'd play. So he's kind of adapted to a healthy lifestyle. But I don't know, it's just fun, it's just fun. Even when I just walk and listen to music, all this I don't know, I just have fun in my life. I don't know if people just are joyful and just really enjoy every day and do, and that's what a pimp is. A pimp is a person that does what they want to do. Nobody tells them what to do. They do what they want to do. And that's all a pimp is. And a pimp is getting people to do things for you. And that, and that can be, again, that can be applied to so many different things. To make people agreeable with you. That's part of pimping too, is to make people agreeable with you. So, yeah, you missed the picks, but I can definitely say them again. I got the Steelers, Eagles, Rams, Pats, Panthers, Browns. I'm sticking with the Browns over Miami. Bears, Chiefs, Colts, Broncos, Packers, Cowboys, Falcons, Lions, and Seahawks. So tomorrow it's the Bengals and the Steelers. Oh, I wanted to show this. I don't know how my uncle kept them so white. Got some other pictures, but like these is my people. This is my people right here. This person right here is my great-great-grandfather. I'm a direct descendant of him. And the person next to him, as you see, that person, they darkened him some kind of way. Now, maybe he got a hell of a tan. Maybe when he joined the Civil War, he got a hell of a tan. Hard to say. But if you look at the 2 pictures, they don't match. Because that is him. The one with the beard, that is him below. That is his picture with the 54th Massachusetts. If you've ever seen that picture, and I probably could go to Pinterest and find it, but this picture is from the picture group of the 54th Massachusetts. And their brother got killed during that battle. Thomas Ampey is on the monument. Colonel Shaw in Boston, he's on the monument. And this guy was actually in the Battle of Fort Wagner. His brother got killed there. But because they were brothers, his brother was the flag bearer. So they let him work supplies. So he didn't actually go and march. And my great grandfather, oh, what was it called? The Battle of the Bowl? I got to look into that. Let me see. Let me see if I can look this up of my great great grandfather. This won't take me too long. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Let me see. I should be able to pull this up. He was in this battle. It should be right here. Maybe it was here. Maybe. One of them tells his battle. Well, it's funny. They says he was known locally as a doctor, though not formally licensed in the Western medical. He is likely blended black folk magic, medicine, plant knowledge, and spiritual practice rooted in survival ancient wisdom. It also said after being mustered out, which coming out of Corpus Christi, Texas in 1865, he settled in Lawrence Township in Michigan. Census oral records describe him as a farmer, but someone who practiced healing arts. They're using herbs and medicine. But one of them said he survived. Let me see. Yeah, he referred to him as a herbalist or a doctor, healer in Van Buren County. I thought he survived a battle. Oh, he's sent to Texas near the Mexican border as part of the U.S. response to the French intervention in Texas. Okay. Let me see if I can get this. Battle of the Bowl. Wait. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Battle of the Crater in Petersburg, Virginia. Yeah, he survived. Okay, so in Petersburg, Virginia, Battle of the Crater. I wonder if I can find that. But what they did is they had these black troops. And one thing, if you know anything about war, you always put your artillery, you want to fight down and you want the enemy to fight up, or you want to surround the enemy. So what they did to these melanated soldiers is they were pretty much in a bowl, and they sent them to charge the Confederates, but the Confederates had the high sides on all three sides. The only side that they had escaped was where they came in. And so they put them in there to slaughter. Same thing, in the movie Glory, the same thing. So, and this paper, I had an old one, but yeah, I'm a direct descendant of him. And the eyes. I mean, those eyes, my daughter has those eyes. And I slept in the same house that, when he came to Michigan, I slept in the same house that he built. My grandfather ended up getting it. My cousin lives in it now, but I slept in that house. A person that's, 4 generations for me. I slept in the same house and his wife, and his wife. So that was my great-great-grandfather. So, I love history. And it was like I got to see his, this summer, I got to see his tombstone along with his mother. Along with his mother's tombstone, which, let's see, she passed in 1808. She passed. No, she was born in 1808. She died in 1851. That's what it is. She died before the Civil War. So before her sons went off to war. This is the gallery. Oh, maybe I can. I don't know if got anything pulled up I can find. Maybe. That's all some good stuff. Yeah, let me see. I got their tombstones and shit. It shouldn't be terribly far back. It's just a few months ago. Man, I got to see a beautiful picture of my niece. Oh, okay. Here we go. Here's goes some of it. Oh, here we go. This might, I mean, it's only going to be one. That's some bullshit. It's not bringing my pictures up for some reason. I'm going to call my son. But I'm looking at them, so some kind of way I got to be able to break and pull them out. Oh yeah, cause okay, I can just show this. Yeah, right here. This is cool. All right, right here. See this picture right here. For some reason, it's not letting me blow it up. But see, you can see she Dicey. This is Dicey Ampey. She was born in Virginia. She was born in the James River, around the James River area of Virginia, North Carolina kind of border. Sapani Catawba. Sapani Catawba people. This is one. We had two different areas where two different Ampeys was buried, same family. And this is my great great grandmother, my great great grandfather's his wife, and then this is him, and this is my great great grandfather and grandmother, Merle. His real name was William, but he went by Merle. This is my great great uncle. Great great uncle, my great grandfather's uncle. And then this is the house my cousin lives in today. This is my grandfather. See if they'll let me. Okay, this is my great grandfather, great great grandfather. This is my great grandfather and my great grandmother. And I slept in that house. That house ended up having a porch right here, screened in porch. But this basic house, and this picture is from, it's not dated. But this picture has to be around 19. He died, I think, in 1918, 1919, I think. So he was still alive in this picture. So we're guessing around. And my grandfather was looks like an adult. So this is probably the early 1900s. So, and what's cool about this is I can't really tell, but this is James or Dicey's. I think this is James' actual autograph. Now James was Dicey's husband, and James was a full-blooded Wampanoag. Eastern Abenaki, full-blooded. So this full-blooded person married that full-blooded. This full-blooded person married that full-blooded person, full-blooded Indian person, which would be considered Black Indians in today's. You look at things, but West Coast, Midwest or woodland people, East Coast woodland people or Coast woodland people. Which more than likely, they Nova Scotia, all up in that area. It's like, they say people didn't travel, and that's bullshit. That's really bullshit. I mean, like we know from just the time walkers, and I've said many times the shortest route to go to Europe was the northern route through Greenland, Iceland, and go around that way. The way the Titanic was trying to come, that's the shorter route than trying to come the way they say Columbus came. So to say that the people didn't, always move around is they're not telling the full part of history. It wasn't discovered. It was like they knew the people was here. There's other written things that they see that they know that the people was here. So hell, Michigan copper. We found Michigan copper in Kemet. So if there wasn't trade from Michigan. I mean, this Michigan copper. They found Michigan copper in Kemet. The type of copper they found could only come from Michigan. That's the earliest copper deposits in the world come from Michigan. So, just a little history thing. That's all. Oh wow. Now I like watches too. It's Sly's been talking about watches. Now, one cool thing about wearing a watch, when you wear something like this, you don't bump it as much But that's my biggest thing about wearing watches around is bumping them because it's just, you know, and talking with your hands and just, moving. It's just, that's the biggest thing. That's why this time of year is better, especially you got a coat on and, you ain't going to bump your watch. That's the biggest thing. Uh, oh, I don't know if I told this story in a long time, and maybe I did, but I was just thinking about Sly had brought up just reffing and just like I used to have my children go to Little League when they played Little League, and Little League parents were just like the worst. They was just like the worst parents. It's like I never would do Little League. I never would do softball. I played softball when I was younger, but I would never left little boy baseball because parents were just the worst. I mean, it was like every game was the World Series. Every game, every game. And I think I've told this story before. Is doing when we did a touch league. Dude had like the champion. The first year we had the league, and I ran into that like a humbug. My ex-wife ran into a dude, and she's like, my husband does all that shit. And so we ran a league that they ended up buying from us. The city bought our league. But just fun, it's just fun doing it. And it was like a league of full contact. I mean, really full contact, crack back blocks and all that shit. Full contact. You could wipe people out. We just didn't have no equipment on. And really in the years we ran it, we really didn't have any real injuries. Didn't really have any real injuries. And like it was teams that came from other parts, other parts of the state that would come in and play that end up paying to play. It was like our league was so good. I think that last year we had I think the first year we had 10 teams, and I think we almost had 15 teams that second year, 16. So we was the games all day, on Sunday. That was because if you have 8 games, we would have something like 6 or 8 games every Sunday. Every Sunday, 6 or 8 games. And that's how well the league was. And I mean, everybody fully engaging, but just no equipment. And no one ever really got hurt. No one ever really got hurt. Some people wear mouth guards, but no real injuries. Because I mean, it was tagged, but I mean, it was flagged, but everything else was full contact blocking. You could extend your hands, you could try to swim past people. I mean, it was full, hand fighting, with linemen, just full blocking, like really pushing people, blocking them and pushing them. So it was fun to do. It was fun to do. I considered I kind of got too late. I just forget about this stuff. But I don't know. I'm still kind of considering basketball because basketball's winding up. But then it's just the traveling. That's the biggest thing. And even around here, there's places around here that's an hour away. That's the thing in the wintertime having to travel. But I'm thinking about applying for this. It was a B squad. And I don't know what grade, but girls team. So I was thinking about it, but I don't know. I don't want to. I want to tie it, but the money's good. I mean, think about it. If you do a B squad, you're doing a B squad ninth or 10th, and it's like 2,500, and you're only really working. You're only really working like 3 months. So it's really, I mean, it's a nice little lick for whoever gets it because you're not really doing any coaching in March. That's about the end. It's be like January, February. Yeah, January, February, you play that kind of league. Yeah, because by March, you're in the playoffs. January, February, yeah, March, you're in the playoffs. So you're only working 3 or 4 months, and, practice is 2-3 hours max. Weekend might be your longest practice. But during the season, you got an hour and a half, something like that after school, maybe 2 hours. So it's not very, very, really much time. And you ain't got to drive. You can ride the bus to the games. But man, I'm just coming on here. I'm gonna have to go spend some time with my wife because I really don't got nothing to do tomorrow. I'll say that I'm recovering because after playing so much, I just and I didn't wear my toe. I wear some toe pads. I think I got some big ones behind me, but I didn't even wear them. I forgot, because I'm already. I used to dress there, but now it just makes more sense to dress at home and change and go to the hot tub there. It just, so I play, and then after I play, I go get my clothes so I could get in the hot tub. Now I can't do the steam. I can't do the hot coals. That shit be fucking with my asthma. I be like, my son said, just go in there and count to 10. I be trying to make it to 10. I guess I can hold my breath about 10 seconds, but it's like that stuff be like compressing on my lungs. And it really fucks with my asthma. I can't stand it very long. My son's like, yeah, just count to 10 or count to 20 and keep counting. I'm like, man. And then if I forget to take off this starts getting hot. This metal starts getting hot. I'm like, oh, I got to take this off. So rings too. The rings start getting hot too. The metal starts getting hot on you. So I'm like, yeah, I got to get out of here. Excuse me. I got to leave this place. I don't care what the people say. But I want to leave you with this.
As I don't curse him out, and as long as I don't threaten him, I can say what I want. Am I correct? Yes. We sick and tired of that nigga there.
We are, and I like that. Ooh, ah. I want to take you higher because I always love Cuz be jamming. Cuz all tonight, and when I leave, soon as I leave here, this is what I'm gonna do.
I smoke 2 joints in the morning.
What?
I smoke 2 joints at night.
Okay, okay.
I smoke 2 joints in the afternoon.
Oh, all the time.
It makes me feel all right.
It makes me feel all right. Well, this is Big Pontiac. I'm coming at you.